baseball game fit?
They played a couple. They have played a couple. I think at least one at home. Maybe two.
I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Chatham Town Council Finance Committee at 3:30 on March 20th, 2025 at Chatham Town Hall. And roll call, please.
Yes, ma'am. Easley?
Here.
Riddle?
Here.
Thompson?
Here. Am I on this committee?
Yes, sir.
Aubrey.
I thought it was all of them. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
You know, I want you to print me out one of those nice gold things that has all the committees on it.
Okay.
Appreciate that, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'll just use a spectator.
Yes, sir.
Any items to be added to the agenda?
We need a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Thompson, seconded by Riddle. All those in favor, Easley? Riddle?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Thank you.
Recognition of citizens and public comment.
I have none that has signed up. Is there anyone that has not signed up that wishes to speak? No one wishes to speak.
Presentations.
There are none.
Any unfinished business.
There's none.
Any new business discussion of 25-26 budget. Nick.
Yes, ma'am. Welcome everybody. This will be our, take a look at the budget from both sides of water and sewer as finalize their recommendation for their budget sides. We'll take the town side, look at that, their recommendation, show the whole budget together and get ready for presentation in April to the council as a whole. In addition, there's a couple items to talk about that are tied to the budget, finalize it, and then we'll get to your first page there. On the both on the screen and then in your slide deck in front of you shows left-hand side shows our 25-26 projected year, and then the right-hand side, just for reference, shows the 24-25 year. If it's in red, it's an expense. So our town revenue projected for next year is 1.3, almost 1.4, and then our expenses are 1.75. If you look, the difference between, and we'll have it on the other slide, kind of show the difference, comparison between those two. The areas of expense increase for this year is the 3.5% recommended by the Personnel Committee for wage increases payments, pay raise, CPI. Our police vehicle, which that includes both interest and principal. We've added up for ammunition, additional ammunition, because we have a student in the academy, so they're shooting quite a bit. We're required to pay for that. Our Infomark increase, both on this side and on the water sewer side, is 4.7. They finalized those numbers for us yesterday. We got the official numbers. We do have a server upgrade that's required on our servers that we have here that we keep stuff backed up on. It's old, and so it's at that point. There's some other stuff ITG had in there we don't necessarily need, but that 15 is for servers and hardware. Our legal services, right now, although we haven't gotten in, haven't addressed that. Contract specifically, our current one said the planned 3% increase. That bracket just shows you the price difference for that 3%. We've got our Silas Moore Park, our Francis Hurt Park, Depot Street Bridge that were approved at the last budget work session, and then the Chatham Volunteer Fire Department, that $15,000 for what we normally, that's added to what we generally carry over in that, and that gives them a total of $25,000 right now in that line item. And then our Chatham Rescue, the $15,000 that was recommended at the budget workshop. On the next slide, you'll see this is our difference in revenue between revenue and expenses. About $3,000 difference between the two. Or 300. 381 and 384, so about 3,000, 0.98 or so. Underneath that line is your water sewer revenue, just so you can see the full picture of the budget. So while we have, like normal, a deficit on the town side, on the water sewer side, you have a surplus of 412,559 there. The difference, again, on the right-hand side shows you what we had last year compared to this year on the water sewer side also.
And that was at the recommendation of that committee, that 3.5.
Correct,
Yes.
correct.
They were, CPI was 5, we sold for 3.5.
It doesn't necessarily keep up with CPI, but it does keep us moving forward on the thing. And like we talked about with that committee, that rate increase, you can see what the price increase on the minimum bill would be, and that's it'd be $470 for an in-town bill, water sewer, and $9 for an out-of-town bill. So as we look at our total, budget, so both sides together, we have a plus of 29,089, that can go into, that will work. We have not applied that against the, overhead allocations for the other side yet. If you look on we have a draft for you on your handout, this will be what will be advertised and what will go out in the, once we refine the numbers. But that right there shows you where the revenues, expenses across how we present the total budget with fees. Once it's approved for a couple items, the council approves it, slaps the table, and it'll look very similar to this. Let's get you to
For the
the,
water and sewer fund, do you think we should break that down so they don't know, what percentage they're paying? Like, put on there like $9 out of town.
for the,
You mean the rates
Right,
on your advertising sheet,
uh,
Teresa, it is broken
I'm
down.
sorry, I missed that.
That's okay.
Okay. Gotcha.
now a couple of items that we have outstanding that we one really is more of codification. Opportunity to adjust as the council sees fit, but there's a codification on the elected official compensation. Right now, the only place we can find it written in ink, even in minutes, we went through the minutes back to 16, 15, and 16, is in the charter, and it limits us to $600 per council member per year total, and $1,200 to the mayor per year total. Now, the Virginia statute states the max up there, but it doesn't say the specific for the town. So any town elected official, all it says is a couple things. One, you can be reimbursed or compensated at the level, basically in accordance with the level of any employee in town. So you could do that at a rate that's comparable to a town employee. And then it says that you can vote on it, and it goes into effect with the next fiscal year. That's because we do a staggered vote. If we had, everybody was in a block, you'd vote for it, it wouldn't come into effect until the next block election. Because it's a staggered vote. If you change anything, it will go into effect with the next fiscal year, so our next budget in July. The one thing,
Don't we need to change that from $600?
again, I agree.
I mean, we already exceed.
And so there has been you're absolutely right, so there has been I guess a standard that has been in for a long time. Long before Kelly got here, anything had paid by meeting and didn't pay attention to the fix on the end of the charter. So that's an easy one.
Committee meetings.
Huh?
Committee
Meetings and council meetings, so there was, and so there were there were times in past, if we pull an audit, and we found out it greatly exceeded the $600. They were doing what's always, it looks like it's always been done. So however we do it, we just want to codify it, so it's part of the, minutes and the official record, and then there's any
I
complaint.
think it was 2011 or 2012 that happened, that they changed the amount.
Does that have to come through ordinance and charter, or does?
No, because even though it's written in the charter, this is a financial thing.
Okay.
And that's what the law tells us, is you're not bound to, even though it's in the charter, it probably shouldn't be, you're not bound to that. The elected officials, whether it's county, city, or town can vote that raise, understand what the limits are, depending on what your size of your population is, and then based on your election cycle, again, we're staggered, so it'll go in the next, fiscal year, so starting on July.
So what